On today's episode of WatchJRGo, I am back in Kansas. The sun's going down, and you guys are gonna get to see the lights turn on in the warehouse for the very first time. Let's get inside. What is going on, guys? I'm WatchJRGo, and like I said, as promised 1 second ago, we're gonna open that door. Turn on this switch. You ready? Boom! It is phenomenally bright in here with only 9 of those 34,000 lumen fixtures from getjl.com. Huge shout out to Matt. We're gonna have a conversation here in just a few about the other 36 for the other side. Yeah, I said 36, and I've never shot in here with the lights, so hopefully it's not like blowing everything out. I know they kind of hotspot because they're so bright, and eventually we'll probably get all these, well, they're all going to be on dimmers, so we'll probably dim them a little bit, maybe 80%. Anyway, now things are getting better over here. We're going to put the detail bay right here. This is actually going to be like a half wall right here. The quick tour of the updates. And then we're gonna take those down, those big steel plates, and we're gonna put up some like plastic sheeting, some thick plastic sheeting, so that you can have a wash bay in here and not worry about water getting on anything, right? So we'll probably go about that high over there for the wash bay, kind of follow it around, and then do like a shorter wall over here. And that leaves all of this. This is where we're gonna put in washer, dryer, washout sink, stuff like that. All kinds of fun stuff for the detail guys, and the high pressure washers will be mounted on the wall with reels, so it's all like ready to go like that. And this will all be a room. We'll probably put a wall right about where I'm standing and then close all that in, because you don't want to hear a washer and dryer running, and you don't want to hear the high pressure washers running either. So I want those to just idle along in the background and us to never have to worry about them. Of course, over here, as you can see, I mean, all the electrical work, it's beautiful. The electricians did a great job. They've left a lot of stuff that we can use to finish the rest of the warehouse, but they're coming back to do all that. And there's the panel, there's some new outlets, there's some more outlets going in on the walls around the place, a whole bunch, I think 6 circuits going over there for the detail room to make sure they have plenty of power for all of that stuff. Over here, we have some EV 6.2s. This is one of my favorite speakers. It's like the only thing Buffalo Wild Wings allows and a few other restaurants. A very, 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 very good contractor install speaker. I think they can do about 600 watts max per speaker. And they're 70 volt. So these are for distributed audio systems running at a constant 70 volt. And 70 volt, the voltage goes up, wire size goes down, as you guys know. That lets us run tiny little wire to these things, like I think 16 gauge is what we're doing. I think I want to put 10 of those, something like that, right over here. That way the detail guys can have their own system and just enjoy their sound and have fun detailing. And I use the in walls in my garage at home, and they are incredible. The in walls absolutely rock, and these ones will rock as well. I paid $300 for all of them from a friend who hit me up and asked if I would buy them. And I was like, I've got a use for those. Usually one of those is $300, so I'd say I got a pretty reasonable deal, right? There's a lot of them. Garage door needs replaced. That's the one thing, because it's hideous, and there's no fixing that thing. It's beat up. Hopefully you guys can see the difference. These are the fluorescents in the big shop that just turned on. There's those 2 are LEDs. That's why they're insanely bright. Unfortunately, they do really hotspot because they're not nice and linear like the fluorescents, but as you come over here, you can see the difference in brightness. So there's one, that's that side, and it's not even fully lit yet. More lights are going in over here, and then there's the difference. It might look better, but it's probably a quarter of the brightness over there. Once all the lights are in, this will be really evened out, and once the balcony's built, right here, exactly where I'm standing, we'll have some extra fill lighting coming down into this. All right, that's enough on the audio, lighting, and electrical. Well, one more note on the electrical. Friday, electricians come back, and all of the conduit leaves that wall in its entirety, which means that wall can finally come out. There's a few things, like the fan wiring and stuff, that need to be actually removed from that wall, moved up into the top purlin there. So that wraps that up. Jared and Joey on their way, and they're bringing a scarfing torch, which is what we need to pull some of the welds off of these little beams. And that's it. There's basically these 6 things that need to come down tonight, and we've pretty much cleaned up everything I need, and we're ready to start putting in lifts. Concrete, Eric and I are gonna go run a concrete saw and maybe do a little cutting in there, and we've got a concrete company coming to do the pour and finishing. Because if there's one thing I know you don't want to be doing, it's finishing concrete. It's an art, just like sheetrock. Sheetrock and concrete, hire those out every single time. That's just, I mean, don't take my word for it. Just go do it and then make your own decision. When we were growing up, we did a ton of concrete work with Dad, and he said, never again. And the experience was enough for me to know I'm never doing it on my own. You just outsource the concrete and prep it if you want, but it's a lot easier. Parts are here for the X5. A lot of the parts, not all of them. The rest should be here this week, and when they show up, we're going to talk about how we're going to pick who gets to buy this car for $1. Just make sure you're subscribed, and I'll go into more detail in that video. I'm only saying that because I don't actually know. Forklift, let's see how she runs. It's been, I don't think anyone's touched the forklift in a minute. There we go, got some gas. Hop up here. It may or may not have a key, but it looks like it does. Just forklift things, it seems like it works really well. I'm gonna start letting everything warm up because we need all the engine powered stuff. Oh, look at that. The air compressor has 1 pound to go on the on one tire. It took a long time to put 80 pounds in these tires, that's for sure. So I've gone through basically all of my Milwaukee batteries while we reinflated the tires on the magic carpet, flying carpet there. We got one of the forklift tires aired up. It's gonna take another 40 minutes to get the others aired up. It'd be really good if I had an air compressor here, wouldn't it? We've got the front of the shop all cleaned up. Jared's up on the scissor lift. Joey is setting up the grinder with a new wheel here. And today, they have a scarfing tip. And the scarfing tip is here because it lets them kind of lay the torch down on the steel and just pull it across and push, pull. It gets the welds cut out because for some reason they anchored right there with the I-beams like they were, and then also welded these beams together, and then welded, I mean, every single joint on this together. So there's a lot of cutting that still needs to happen to get the red iron out of here and the rest of the crane. So we're gonna hop up on the scissor lift real quick. Where you going, Joey? Wow. All right, cut that bad boy for me. One more. Nice. All right, now we can get this chain out of here and drop these T5s. The perfect spot to cut. Okay, bring it on down to the scissor lift. I'm holding it. Hey, look at that. They wrote the city this beam was going to on there. Probably a job number. We got a date. What's that say? 10/26 of 10? It kind of looks like 10.
I bet you that's 0.
What do you think, 0? Oh, 2000, the year 2000, probably the year 2000. So up here, as you can see now, we're up here at the level of the crane. We've got a lot of cutting to do. So they used L brackets up there. It's angle iron. They made a little L, hold that thing.
And it's welded solid here.
So that's the weld that needs scarfed.
So.
Oh, cool, thanks. That's going everywhere. So, of course, it's got to be clean, stop any popping and all that fun stuff. So that's why Jared is blowing it all off with the gas. Oxygen, and then we'll be able to unbolt these beams and drop all that. Torque landing. Man, that thing is super fast. Young man, are you good? Yeah, I'm gonna cut a little more. Alright.
That's probably good.
Done.
We'll do the rest with a grinder.
Wow. 2 minutes gets that weld out of there. That's not bad at all.
Saves a lot of grinding wheels.
Yes, it does. Now we have a literal jet engine. Okay, it's obviously not a jet engine. It's not built for propulsion. Hey, Jared got another weld cut out there. But this is the Master B600, and it says 600 because 600,000 BTU, right? I'm pretty sure it's over 500,000 BTU. That is a can of kerosene in a Porsche. That's a man, for reference. This is a heater. It's man size. So all we gotta do is turn this bad boy up here. All right, move. There we go. Thermostat clicked on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Here we go. Boom! We turned this thing on for about 15 minutes and the shop was so hot we had to shut it off because I was sweating in my hoodie. It was that bad. So it's back on for a minute. Maybe we'll even use the thermostat, but that thing is hot. Hot, hot. Yo, how much did you pay for the sun?
So me and one of my buddies were out frequenting pawn shops as we do occasionally and saw this sitting outside with a bunch of junk basically.
Yep.
And went inside and asked the guy what the story was on it, and he said it didn't work. And we said, well, how much would you have to have for it? And he said, I don't know, I'd have to go ask the boss. So I guess he went and asked the boss, and the guy came back and he said $400. So obviously it's worth quite a bit more than that. So we went in on it together and each put 200 bucks in on it. I put a new Honeywell burner control on it.
I know, I showed him that bad boy.
And,
It's nice.
And as soon as I put that burner controller on it, it took right off and was running.
Yep.
But I just finished putting a new fuel filter on it. So I'm and then I bought Robbie out of his half of it. So I'm probably I guess I'm about $500 into a $2,500 heater.
500 bucks for this thing is not bad. It's probably faster than all three of those heaters combined. I'm pretty sure it is. It's a beast.
One of the best purchases of my life, probably.
Okay, back to the forklift tires and the beams and everything. My new forklift, running great at the beginning of the day. I came out, hit the switch, it came to life. And then just now I ran over to get the my forklift started so I could grab the beam while they were cutting it out. And guess what? Completely dead. We ended up taking all the panels out of the dash and just banging around on the wires, and there's something wrong that caused it to like have an intermittent power issue. Main power, not intermittent start, main power. So looks like I got more work to do on that forklift. Either way, we'll get it all sorted out. There's a bunch of relays hanging down, a mess of wiring. I'll show you. It's a dirty, oily mess. So there's the dash with everything apart, and I think this is the main power relay we're having issues with. Either way, bit of a mess up inside there. Oh, baby! Look at the Clark doing work! Just Clark things. Yeah, buddy. How's that thing drive? You like it? Pretty nice for what it paid for it. We're gonna have a fun lift to get this picked back up, huh? We got 2 forklifts. Well, that was about the easiest lift so far, getting these things out. It went really, really, really well. And now, we're gonna take a forklift and use it to stabilize the red iron right here. That way it doesn't move at all while we get it all unbolted and drop it. One big beam out of the way. Here are the giant beams that we unbolted, as you can see. And I don't know why people thought I was saying that we were gonna like scrap these. I would never scrap these things. I was saying they're worth $15,000 to me. And we're gonna use every single inch of this I-beam right there. So just to clarify, these are not going anywhere. They're priceless works of art made by some steel foundry. That is a lot of steel, And I do think we're gonna use every bit of it, like I said. Here's the other posts. Look at the shop though. Take a look behind me. Is this not one of the most mind-blowing things you've ever seen? It is a completely different building without these center posts. It makes the building look 3 times bigger. And we are ready to go lift. And there's enough room to put them all 10 feet apart, I think. Maybe it's 5, but there's a lot of room. Now let's get this place cleaned up, put some new lights in here, and insulation. We gotta do some insulating, because I wanna put new insulation up instead of painting. Obviously you can't clean that stuff.
Ugh.
It's permanent.
Not interested in helping with that.
Yeah, that's fine. So that is it for today, guys. The change to the warehouse is absolutely crazy. Everything we got done today. I'm super happy about this. Next up, obviously we cut out the high bays and they need to come down. Unistrut comes down, all of that conduit comes down, all of that stuff's been dead for a long time now. So we can honestly just start cutting, get a bunch more stuff cleaned out of the ceiling. Not really cutting, I'm actually carefully disassembling every single piece, and we're keeping every single piece because who knows what I need to use again. And then we're ready to hang 36 more lights on this side. So it's looking great. We've got a bunch of demo planned. You guys, I told you the plan, and you got to see these beams come down. And hey, Carrie showed up a minute ago, good friend of mine, and we've done lots of pro audio together over the years. And he brought me the amplifier for the EVIDs. Pretty pumped about that. This is a 250 watt by 8 channel amp, 70 volt with a whole bunch of cool tricks like built-in Ethernet control and stuff like that. Still gonna need a DSP to control the rig over here, and we'll probably use the DSP to feed the line array and all that good stuff. That way we've got a lot of awesome sound in here. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com, where you can get cool shirts not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Today was like a super update with a ton of work, and you got to see the lights turn on. I can't wait until they dim. We've got more stuff coming for those lights. Huge update coming very soon.